Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're Jameson with Games. I should have cleaned my glasses beforehand. Putting them on there, I realized, oh, this is no good. Holy smokes. Chat messages have already disappeared because they came in during the opening. But hello, Stimpinski. Hello, Rego Death. Hello, Pattern Blue. And now, on screen, hello, Cedric. Yeah, the Pirates, who haven't really done anything, the Pirates of Pestulon, they seem to be doing something, maybe, we have gathered. Speaking of doing something, maybe, I should probably have groomed the old stash a little. But we'll get to it. Great question, Stimpinski. Life's pretty good. All right, glasses on and functional. Life is good for the most part. I am still trying to get caught back up on work after COVID. Not because I had COVID bad or my COVID infection really disrupted my life that much, but because Danielle had bad COVID, which disrupted my life more because I had to take care of her. And then the biggest consequence of COVID for me professionally was I had to reschedule 2 appointments. And when I had to reschedule them, because, trying to be a gracious and cooperative guy, I was the one canceling. So when people offered me the reschedule dates, I just said yes, if it didn't directly conflict with a class or something. But what happened as a result of that was I went from having 2 appointments on separate days at points in the day that would minimize their interference with my work, went to the same Tuesday in the middle of the morning and then the middle of the afternoon. And Tuesday is my one day of the week where I don't have classes or office hours. So it's my day to actually do work that isn't help the students with the things that are stressing them out today or go and do the class. So this morning I had to do I spent about an hour doing work before I got down to this, but I was very efficient because it was just a relief to be doing work without any immediate fires needing to be put out. Do a little more tomorrow, and I feel like it's about to get back on track. Otherwise, life's good. Life's good. Life is good. Abra's happy, for the most part. She's still every now and then kind of something happens because I don't think she's sitting around all day thinking about the past and being like, "Where's my sister?" But there are definitely times still where she's like, "Where's my sister?" And that's kind of sad. But for the most part, she's happy and healthy, and I'll take what I can get in this fallen world. Meanwhile, I'm really enjoying Darkest Dungeon 2. Darkest 2 Dungeon, if you go by the logo and how it's stylized. It's a really bold undertaking because they had a very beloved game in the first Darkest Dungeon. And they threw out the entire core gameplay loop and structure. They kept the core of how combat... Hello, bag of magic food. Exactly. 2 Darkest, 2 Dungeon. They kept the core of how the RPG combat works and how character development mostly works. But instead of you're managing a stable of characters from different classes, they get different names because you could have 2 highwaymen, so they don't both have the same name, not the same guy. And you develop them through multiple dungeon delves by selecting and navigating through dungeons, with the goal being to ultimately clear all the dungeons, beat all the bosses, open up the final dungeon, go do it. The new one, Darkest Dungeon 2, I guess it's not new anymore, is about taking a wagon ride that basically takes the form of, it's like Slay the Spire. It's just you have every biome, every area has a sort of branching set of pathways, and you're just picking the pathways and going through them. And whatever happens at each node is what happens at the node. And yeah, so that's a big risk. And I don't necessarily think that I like the wagon ride to hell format better than the Delve the Dungeon. But I like it a lot, and possibly as much, maybe better by the time I'm done with it. And it's nice to have variety. So that's really cool. I'm way worse at the game. I was great at Darkest Dungeon because if you've ever played Darkest Dungeon and had trouble with it, or if you've ever thought of playing it, listen closely. I'm about to drop a big truth. The secret of the entire game, I can't confirm this is what they would say on the Reddit or the wikis, what is actually identified as the optimal strategy. But here's a word from me. Darkest Dungeon 1, in its tutorializing, introduces the stress system where your characters build up a meter of stress And if it gets to 10, I have heard that too, Cedric. I am late to the game even on the first Frostpunk, but it's on the endless list because it sounds great. Yeah, if they get to 10 stress, their resolve is tested, and most of the time they melt down and get a negative trait. Sometimes they show resolution and power up, which is always such a great reward to roll that 1 out of 10 and save the day. But the game introduces it to you, this mechanic, and the mechanic of if they have a meltdown and get a negative character trait, you can put them in the sanitarium and they will recover over time, and then you can eventually take them back out, but it costs you resources and it costs time where you don't have the hero. And they introduce that to you like it's just like a standard part of the loop. You're just gonna have to do this now and then. But in truth, the main thing to succeed in Darkest Dungeon 1 is stress management. Don't ever let your characters melt down. Do everything you can, primarily with an eye to minimizing your stress. Keep an eye out for things that could cause stress when you're exploring and avoid them. When you find the things that reduce stress, make sure that those stress reductions go to the characters with the most stress. In battles, kill the enemies that cause stress. Don't even before you kill enemies that cause a lot of damage or cause other problems. It's all just about that. And in Darkest Dungeon 2, that's definitely part of it. Manage the stress is still part of the core loop. But there's this extra, manage the relationships between the characters. And those are intertwined because a character that melts down, all their relationship ratings, which is a score out of 20, go down. Anyway, if the characters have bad relationships, it affects their moves. If they develop a negative bond, then one of each of their 5 moves that they can use becomes the bad one that causes a negative effect for the person they have a bad relationship with when they use it. This can really mess you up. In fact, I would have won the second leg of the journey yesterday if a key move wasn't deprecated in a way that just shut the whole thing down. Anyway, I'm really enjoying Darkest Dungeon 2. I will stop talking about it in just a moment and we'll get down to our actual purpose. But the last thing I want to say is that Darkest Dungeon 1 and 2 have, in the combination of the writing and the brilliant voice acting of the narrator, just have amazing video game narration. Like Bastion levels of just classic narration that like supports the game while also supporting the tone and the art of the game, and it's just beautifully nailed. Pattern Blue, I haven't seen any chamomile tea, but when you get to the inns at the end of each area, and they're at the inn, there are various inn items you can use, some of which reduce stress, like calming incense, pipeweed. Pipeweed, you select 2 targets, and not only does their stress go down from smoking that pipeweed, but their relationship gets better because they're smoking the pipeweed together, puffing and passing. But yeah, so the narrator, because both these games have it's pure Lovecraftian themes, doing the classic thing of it's Lovecraftian, but we're going to work backwards to Gothic, late 19th century sort of vibe instead of the early 20th century of Lovecraft. And the narrator's there to comment on whatever's happening in the game. And so it's a great voice performance by the narrator. And also just, it hits this tone where everything he says is portentous and ominous and so forth. And it's often really funny, but not funny because it's winking, but just funny because it's so grim. But even the funny ones are pretty well written, and they work as ominous dialogue, but you kind of get a laugh out of it. The one that really stands out to me is if one of your characters takes a big hit in combat, sometimes the narrator goes, "Hold fast, for who knows what lurks in the beyond." And it's just first of all, that's a badass thing to say about better. You don't want to, but it's also just so this world is so doomy and pessimistic that the reason you don't want to die is because the afterlife is probably even more horrifying and terrifying than regular life. And then the final thing I'll say is there's one of the characters, the leper. Now the characters aren't just character classes. They're individuals because you're just picking a roster of 4 of them at the start of each wagon journey. And the leper's story is that he was a king, but he was a good king. And so against the advice of his subjects, he insisted on visiting his ill subjects and the poor and like embracing them. You know, he's like Christ-esque figure, but also a king. And then he got leprosy. He's the leper. And by the time you're playing as him, like he wears a golden mask, presumably to cover his decayed face and all this stuff. And I haven't unlocked his entire personal story, but I assume it involves something like he withdrew from the throne and, you know, abdicated, and all his people were very sad, all this stuff. So when he dies, the narrator says, "Long ago he was mourned. Now he is simply gone." And she's like, oof, that hurts. That's a thought. Anyway, terrific game. Strongly recommended if you have a strong tolerance for pessimistic, like nihilistic cosmic horror tone, and Lovecraftian grotesquerie, and brutal difficulty, and you like roguelite loops. If all of that comes together for you, check it out. Okay, so far, I finally, speaking of Lovecraftian horror, cosmic despair, I was finally forced to install Windows 11 on this computer yesterday. And so far, the only thing that seems to have screwed up is that OBS, every scene collection in OBS forgot that my headphones were the audio source. So the song, you might, if you tuned in quick, you might notice the song didn't start right away. Either tonight or last night. My hopeful take here is that there's not going to be any problem with Space Quest 3, The Pirates of Pestulon. So there's some ado for you, but without any further ado, let's play the game. Okay, whoops. Apologies, folks. That's not a software issue. I just forgot to turn the sound down. I don't love the gong. Everywhere else in this game so far, I've really liked the music. The sound blaster tracks. Like even now, like right here. Now it's great. All the voices are integrated well. I don't love that gong at the start. Okay. So. Alright, F7 for load. The one we'll load is the one called Active Save. That's a clever trick I've figured out to manage my many playthroughs and my attention deficit disorder and my pursuant issues. So, such as it is, the story so far is that at the end of Space Quest 2, our hero, Roger Wilco, was in an escape pod in suspended animation. At the start of this game, we just pick up right there. He gets picked up by a garbage barge, which just mistakes him for space garbage. On that barge, he does a little work to get a ship that he finds in pretty good condition in one of the garbage storage areas. Blasts his way out, escapes into space, and then you just start going around and getting points. Like, you would think at this point that what Roger would do is like, all right, I'm going home to Xenon. Or alternately, that he would, press some buttons and be like, hey, this thing doesn't have the energy to make it all the way back to Xenon. I need to find a something battery. Instead, Roger just starts exploring, trying to find puzzle points. And then it's like, hey, there's a Terminator hunting you. There's a cutaway. Terminator's hunting you. You think, okay, all right, here's an inciting incident. What does this Terminator want with Roger? Like, how does it tie into these Pirates of Pestulon? And then, very shortly after, you find out the Terminator's chasing you in a callback to a thing that Roger did in the second game to punish him for allegedly committing mail fraud. And then you defeat the Terminator pretty quickly. And then you just keep on getting those puzzle points. We have met the Pirates of Pestulon, sort of, because here on the fiery planet, the name of which escapes me at the moment, Roger, there's one screen you can go on to where there's 2 dudes. They kind of look more like scientists than pirates. If you go out and they see you, they kill you. So that's kind of piratey. But if you don't go out, then after a few seconds, they walk away. And that's it. They seem to be building some sort of infrastructure device on this planet, which is probably intended to do something nefarious. So probably eventually the goal of the game will be to stop that thing. But honestly, I don't know. So what are we going to do next? Well, it certainly hasn't been communicated to us clearly what we might want to do, but I have two ideas. Let me share them with you as I get down to business. One is that one of my ideas is at some point there has to be a plot. And I bet now that the Pirates of Pestulon, if indeed those are the exact same pirates, I assume there's not two separate pirate factions. Now that the Pirates of Pestulon are in play, perhaps just something will happen again while I'm flying around in space. Idea number two is that I acquired the thermo weave underwear that I'm wearing, which is why Roger can exist on the fire planet right now. I acquired that underwear from a store on one of the other planets where the guy was offering me 3 different items, and I treated it at the time like a puzzle about, carefully spending a limited amount of money. Because in Space Quest 1, Roger could hold literally enough money to make the exact right purchases that he needed to make without making any of the wrong purchases that were also options. This game actually seems to, unless there's some other big cost coming my way, overload me with money. And so I did wrap up last week and then think, why didn't I buy all those things? So I think what I'm going to do right now is go back to that planet, buy the other things, if they're still on offer, which I certainly hope they are, and maybe something will happen on the way. The impact switch on the thermal detonator was triggered by your wobbling on the unstable rock. Your fragments are strewn over a wide area. Okay, well, welcome back to Space Quest. Danielle is calling me. I have to take a brief intermission. Hang tight, gang. Okay, so one of the items I'm carrying instantly kills me. And by the way, this game really leans... The comical, gruesome deaths lean way more to gruesome in this game, I will say. Like, look at this. This is horrifying. Okay, let's go back to the active save. So I'm holding this thermal detonator. I hopefully haven't created an unwinnable state by doing this. Let's see. Okay. So that's the warning. There's an impact switch on this thing. Well, I need to either just put it back where I found it or use it before I can leave that way. Maybe there's an alternate way off the planet. Who knows? What I'm going to try first, before anything else, is whether I can literally just blow up the satellite or whatever it is on this planet. Maybe that will be what sets us up too for the pirates to take action against Roger. Time will tell. I'm hopeful I can beat this game today. It's not the end of the world if I don't. Because it's not that I'm sick of playing it or something. Rather, I'm excited for what's next. The next Saturday game, in preparation for next year's release of Free Stars, the spiritual successor to Star Control 2, is Star Control 3, the actual official successor to Star Control 2. I want to play that so I have a basis for comparison. And also because I like the Space War style ship combat. So we'll see how that is. Okay, impressive machine. staggering size. No, I don't see how I could possibly use this detonator here. And yet, who knows? Try the easy way. Can I set it? No. Can I throw it? Keep it to yourself. Look at the device. It's pointing into the Ortegian sky. The fire planet is called Ortega. Pulsating circular energy fields are being emitted into space. And they're probably, bad. Okay. Oh, hidden screen. Now we know what's going on. Well, that worked out. I'm glad I did that. Look around. You are on a platform on the rim of the volcanic crater. A stairway leads down to the base of the massive force field generator. Oh, you know what? On the question of how's life, which Stimpinski asked a while back, another nice thing this week was that I had I'm up for reappointment, and I simultaneously applied for promotion. So I submitted that package to the appointments committee, but you're allowed to submit an amendment. And as soon as I submitted it, I thought, why didn't I solicit some letters of support from people, colleagues, and students, especially former students? So I wrote to I didn't write to every student I've ever had a good time with, because I have lots of great students, lots of great interactions with them over the many years now of my career. But I just kind of went down my mind of who are the students who stick out in my mind, who I think also the faculty still would like to brag about their association with these students because of how impressive they are and what they've gone on to do. And so I wrote to 6 of them, and one of them I don't have current email for, so I just didn't hear back from her. I feel confident she would have written the letter. But the rest of them all responded, and this was the week that I got the letters and submitted the amendment to the package. So I took a minute to read them, and it was humbling. It was gratifying. It felt very nice to be oh, hey. The students care. The students appreciate me. At least 5 of them. Ooh, scale. Very cool. Look around. You stand at the massive base of a force beam generator. This unit can generate a force field powerful enough to encircle a small moon. So are they planning to protect Ortega with this force field? In which case, probably I'm supposed to destroy this just so I can get off the planet? I don't know. Look around. Base of the generator. Ladder leads to the top. That seems like where we would go to, say, use a thermal detonator to blow up an important part of it. What else do I have? Invisibility belt, which I haven't used. Money. And that's it. Look out, it's low on power. That's okay. That's why we haven't put it on yet. But I'll keep in mind that if for a short period of time it would benefit me to be invisible, well, we can do that. We have the technology. Okay. That's a poorly communicated hard stop. Especially frustrating when I remember how long I got stuck at the very start for not realizing that the bottom of a screen was an exit. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say, actually, we're not going to have anything to do here either. I like the classic Sentinel color scheme. It's not exactly the pink or the blue, but it's in that area. Wait, is that even the... I gotta make a confession here. I'm not a big Marvel guy. I could be misremembering. The Sentinels could be different bits of purple. I don't know. At any rate, I like the color scheme. Look at him go. Holy smokes. Hey, nice. Nice animation. The ladder, it's like a big fancy ladder, so as it gets up to here. While trying to catch your, curves with the thing, it's bolted down. While trying to catch your breath, you take in the panoramic view Below, you can see your ship off in the distance, and volcanoes stretching out over the horizon. There's a large circular opening here at the top of the generator. This must be where the beam originates. Watch your step up here. So yeah, I gotta watch my step. But, well, I have one pretty strong idea about what the answer here might be. Wouldn't do any good to do that here. Besides, you'll probably just blow your own foot off. Is that because of where I'm standing? Yes. The explosion has shut off the beam that was shooting out from this thing. Someone's going to be really sore at you for this. 20 points for blowing up a giant force field generator. I think it was giving me more points for that in the early going for like picking things up. Blimmed the ladder. You would think typing thousands and thousands of words a day for 8 months out of the year would perfect my typing and I would never make silly mistakes like that. Saboteur. All right. Oh. Uh-oh. That detonator has apparently set off a chain reaction of earthquakes. You better get off this rock ASAP. Well, that was the plan anyway. Quick, Roger. Strut as fast as you can, buddy. At any rate, I'm sure we'll be fine if we just go directly out of here. I'm sure there will be no complications. Having said that, whoop. No, I'm not going to update the save while there's an earthquake. I think my sentences turn out okay once I've caught all the typos. And my larger paragraphs once I've done a customary round of editing out 90% of the exclamation marks so I don't sound like a cocaine-fueled psycho. It's funny, my academic publication credits, most of the ones I have, I kind of don't really feel like I deserve. They're the, oh, my, things have certainly changed since you were last here. That unstable rock has fallen into the simmering lava below. Of course it has. Oh no. What if the answer is one of those other two items? You know what? Here's a great spot for a very precise question for those in the know. Is the fact that I didn't buy those two items a reason that I am stuck forever now? Or alternately, did that most recent earthquake mean a bridge was created somewhere else? Of course not. That would be too easy. And the game is no jumping zone. Not now, really? This seems like a great time to jump across. Okay. But is it say it's not saying no jumping. You think I had, okay. Great. Okay. I can work with that. So I don't see how any of this is going to get me over the gap. Basically, I can't remember what the other two things were at the store. I don't specifically remember either one of them being a grappling hook. But okay. Come on, Roger, keep moving. Okay. Is there anything here? Is the telescope? Yes, it is, but... I don't see why this would solve my problem. In fact, they haven't even updated the graphic. Oh, no. I guess they have. I guess that's just atmosphere around the moon that we're seeing. Yeah, that thing's still there. It's not beaming anymore since you broke it. Attaboy, Roger. Okay. Look at device. It's a telescope, an anemometer on a pole, seismic equipment, and a crate. I think the crate had the generator. I don't see why I would be able to... you never know. Sometimes Roger... I mean, he fit a ladder in his pocket earlier. No, it's attached firmly. Okay. Crate is already open. It's empty now, though, right? No, it's still full of thermal detonators. Did I just take the whole crate? No. And then what was the other device? Am I out of time? Seismic equipment. Okay, doesn't want me using the seismic equipment. It does not seem. Okay. Okay. Well, for now, I think looking around more. It's not a bad idea. And there is the possibility that it's a timed thing where it is true that after X number of earthquakes, a new bridge appears. Look around. Yeah. Look at the ground. Okay. You're not going to give me any helpful advice. I don't think I missed anything I could have picked up in here, but what if I did? What if the invisibility belt is a trick because you think the answer is going to be to turn invisible, and the answer is actually it's just use it as a belt. Just use it like a lasso or something. Pardon me. I don't know. I don't know. No. Nothing. Look at this guy. No wonder he's out of breath. He's climbing the ladder so fast. He has incredible grip strength. Why is the thing still humming? Can I just like go to the other side? No, probably not. Great balance, Raj. Oh no! Let's see a horrific picture of a smashed open Roger when he splatters on the ground. Or not. Okay. Why don't I, before I pick up, why don't I remind myself what those items are? Even if they're probably, based on Cedric's recollection, and even my own vague remembrance, not super relevant to my current predicament, it would be good to remember what they are to start thinking about where I might use them later. Do I just have to wait? Yes. Or add on a stick. Oh, had to press enter to advance. And the other thing is Astro Chicken flight hat. Okay. Well, yes. Doesn't feel super likely that those things are going to solve my problem. So, I just need to get back to work here. Figure out what it is that I'm missing. If indeed I'm... Like, am I missing a thing? Could I pick up another thing somewhere? Or am I just missing the action to type into the parser to get Roger to cross a small gap even though there's no intervening bridge? Should try different variations of like look at and see if I can find something. I guess I should also never rule out the possibility that I've missed a screen that is hidden in the classic Sierra adventure game fashion. Or even more so, the classic Hugo's House of Horrors fashion of just not looking like there's a gap to walk through. But there is, and you're a fool if you didn't see it. Special rocks? No, they're just rocks. Wonder if I can use the seismic equipment. Can I take the lid of the crate? No. What's on the ground? Nothing. Never a special bit of dialogue for the ground. Forget it. Can I adjust the telescope? Look at some other stuff? Probably not. Try another word. Andromedans don't adjust things. Andromedans got everything just right the first time. And they're happy with it. And they don't want it to ever change. Okay. Look at the chasm. Molten lava casts a mysterious glow on the sides of the deep fissures. Watch your step. Look at the rocks. Yeah. Look at bridge. There is no bridge. No. Well, at least it acknowledged that it was the program that is too stupid to understand my high-level thinking. If I look at the chasm here, nothing special. I don't think there's another screen to the right, but what if there is? There sort of is. And it's an original screen. Or I guess no, it's not original, because I could get here from the top left as well. Ooh. Eruption in the background. Simple animation, but it was nice. I wonder, is there a way to come down this side of the hill and explore over there? Be great if there was just a single gap in these rocks. It did just occur to me the inherent humor in the fact that I talked all about how there's no real plot or like objective for Roger, and then said, but probably it's going to be something to do with foiling this device. And then immediately I foil the device without ever really knowing why it's there or who made it. And then I'm just, I mean, at least I have an immediate objective. Get off the planet. No? Is there a hole here I can look in? No. If I say looking hole, it's just like looking chasm. The big holes in the ground, not these pockmark holes in the cinder rocks. But okay. It's the rim. Is there another way out of here? I'm not sure. Well, obviously I'm not sure. If I was sure, I would just, do it. Problem solved. You really got to hit a pretty narrow box for Roger to actually go in there. Seems possible it could be. I really hope it's not, just because I don't want to go back there. But what if it's slide or like somehow there is a way around the other side of the beam generator? And when you get there, what if you can, get down a ladder on that side? I don't know. What if it is a timed puzzle where after enough earthquakes, there's a new bridge? Otherwise, I'm already a little confused. But such is life. Well, I found a stupid instant death. Oh my goodness. There's Roger with his flesh melting off, somehow still alive through this horror. You can see the agony in his face. Okay, I gotta update this save so that I'm not... Actually, you know what? While I'm in here, I guess I'll try one more time. Oh, excellent Watsonian explanation. I'm using Watsonian right in that sense, right? Yes. Doylean is the authorial. Oh, okay. No, he can't go through that tiny little spot. No, he says. But for whatever reason, whatever happens to Roger when he lands inside the thing is too horrifying. They weren't willing to describe it. All right. Yeah, maybe it's just like maybe that's a waiting puzzle. Wait like 5 minutes and then find out how Roger died horribly. Or wait 5 minutes and Roger lands softly at the bottom and now you're on the way. Ugh, that's not completely implausible. This would not be the first Sierra game where a puzzle was solved by waiting. Yeah, we just have the underwear and the belt. Take satellite. No. British, welcome. We have still failed to find a plot. I had a brief moment where I was like, well, we don't know why, but probably the objective is going to be to destroy whatever device the space pirates are building on this planet. But that's the one thing I've already done. Destroyed the device. Now we got to... Destroying the device set off earthquakes. Now the little land bridge is gone. I need to figure out a new way out of here. So, I mean, that's an immediate purpose. Give them that. I really want it to be possible to get across here. Yeah, in a sense, like, definitely the plot is about these Pirates of Pestulon. In an Arthurian sense, or sorry, a Doylean sense, we know what the plot is. We just don't have a Watsonian explanation for the plot. If I try to just walk across here, I fall to my death. We do not need to see Roger's horrific burned face again. Look around. Same generic description. Look across. Same. What if I just said look? It's the same. I don't see why I would be able to jump from here. Okay. Before I ask those in the know for some kind of gentle hint, I will say anyone who's not in the know, please feel free to. Oh my goodness, no, I don't want to. We don't need to see it. Please feel free to be like, oh, is it this? Is it this? Use belt as bridge. That doesn't make any sense. No. As. They don't use as. Not big on similes. In Andromeda. Keep glancing down to the lower left. I need to take a brief intermission to clean my mustache up a bit. It's going to drive me insane if I keep seeing myself looking all scruffy. Hang tight, gang. I might break down and beg for a hint when I return. I'll be right back. Okay. Not perfect, but better. Something I can live with. Oh, hey. And if I didn't pause the game while I was gone, that kind of suggests we're probably not on a time limit to death countdown. I did not. Ooh. I don't know why I would be able to, but there's a green and red button on this thing. Turn off the anemometer. Pardon me. Okay, fine. Look at anemometer. Looks like a couple of tennis balls cut in half. It spins when the wind blows. Press button. You can't. Look at buttons. Okay. No. Okay. I did not, unfortunately, have any kind of mustache grooming related revelation. I wasn't up there and I was like, oh, you know, getting Roger across that chasm is just like trimming the straggly ends of your mustache. Death. Horrible death. Well, I hope it's not a... Oh, no. What if it is just a wait-and-see puzzle and I had waited long enough by doing that, but now it's gone? I hope not. Okay. Given that we're at the very start, and I have done very, very little today. No time lock. Thank you. But I was going to say, if anybody, like... the gentlest of nudges, something like you need an item or like look in the complex in the generator or it's not in the you know, just narrow the field of possibilities for me a bit. I don't yet need like remember this. I need an item using a word it told me not. Oh, I need an item to let me... Okay. Okay. But what? Well, let's find it. Or let's try to find it. Wait, and it's not the chicken hat that I need. Is it? Whoops. Great. Just realized I don't know how to spell propeller. I guess I don't think I've ever written down the word propeller. In King's Quest, it would absolutely be the chicken hat that lets you jump and fly a little. Possibly also in Mario. Okay. So I'm missing an item I can collect. I'm sure Roger could come up with some kind of use for a telescope somewhere. Ah. Can I get another detonator, just in case? I do have a new detonator. I really want this anemometer to be the solution. Not confident it's wise to have a new detonator since, as we've seen, there are ways for the detonator to not work for me. Is it like rocket riding? I don't know how I don't know what the phrase I would type into the parser would be to like jump and then drop the detonator below you. No. Still saying not now. Oh, I did get more points for picking up another detonator. It looks like. But wait, am I just going to die now when there's another earthquake? No, because there must have already been more tremors without me dying. Yeah. So Roger's like wobbling on the shaky bridge, sets off the detonator. Literal earthquakes don't. Now, I've already tried going over here, but the thought of missing a screen is discomforting. You know what? Without needing any details about where, have I missed a screen? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rigadith. Okay. Figure the solution probably lies in one of three categories. The just like naturally intuitive, they'll seem obvious in hindsight. And then the serious science fiction outcome and a goofy science fiction outcome. But who knows? Who knows which it might be? This should not work. Ladder is firmly attached. Great. Look at the machine. Yep. Okay. Look at the ground. It's the planet Ortega. Look at the sky. The atmosphere has a red tint. Of course it does. How far can Roger go this way before he slides to his death? Not very far, and oh my goodness, Roger. What happened to him? He was sliding down feet first. I guess at the bottom there was a lip. His heels caught it, and he just torqued himself over and just pitched himself face first into the ground. But even then, geez, must have seriously picked up some speed. Yeah. That's the thing about all of Jackie Chan's stunts is that they're simultaneously not as easy as they look, and none of them look easy at all. Oh man, the police story slide down the pole in the mall. What a wild thing to just do. There's a movie where I can't remember which one it is, where he's fighting dudes in a market. And so he grabs a bunch of like super hot like Szechuan peppers or whatever and like chews them up and spits the juice on his fists so when he hits dudes in the face, their eyes will break out. And he did it with real peppers. You didn't need to do that, Jackie. Nobody can smell or taste the peppers. I'm losing it here. I just nothing's coming to me. But I'll keep before I start really asking for heavy-handed hints. I gotta. Can I read the meter? What's that one from? Take the dish. Nope. I need something to jump with. Take the pole. Okay. Okay. You know what? Fine. It's the intuitive, goofy solution, not science fiction necessarily. Now, there's no reason this should actually work while having the thermal detonator. This should absolutely result in me being blown to bits, but we'll see what happens. Hold pole? No. Can I just say jump now? No. Wait. Why don't I look at my item? Metal pole. A handy metal pole. Use metal pole. Brow furrow. Okay, great. There's the answer. Your brow furrows in grim determination as you prepare for a tremendous leap. Part of the problem here with this puzzle, and I really think there's not a lot of problems. This is a fair puzzle. Probably shouldn't have struggled this hard. I guess it was a parser issue. But even then, I should have tried take pole earlier. Is that like visually, this just doesn't look like a gap that, like it looks like Roger should be able to just fall forward with his arms out, catch on, and then clamber up. Although that would set off a thermal detonator. Oh. Oh. Yes. Okay. That was good. That was good. Okay, so the points are a trick. But otherwise, we have a pretty straightforward plan. Also, I totally thought the gimmick, now it makes more sense why it's take pole, because he's pole vaulting. Up until the moment he pole vaulted, I thought the idea was to jump and then like the propeller was going to hold him aloft slightly longer. Here's good news. When I took that brief intermission to fix my mustache earlier, to a degree at least, I was not in terrible hip pain when I stood up, which means I'm doing a decent job of not being excessively forward in my posture. And that hopefully it's going to recover instead of escalating. In general, I've managed to achieve a pretty ergonomic career. Like, I do my work in a pretty ergonomic way. I've been off the yoga, fallen off my yoga, except for like a little bit when I wake up. But I do the yoga. I'm more flexible for the most part when I'm not all fucked up in the hips as a 39-year-old than I was as a 29-year-old. So there's a lot of ways in which I'm maintaining my body properly, but I didn't start soon enough. Wait. Nope. Come on. I don't like that it says not now. Okay, I guess anytime you say jump, it's like it just reads jump and says not now. The Romanian judge gives you a 9.5. A truly outstanding jump by one of the finest young athletes we've seen this season. That's not how pole vaulting is scored. There's no judges. I guess there's judges to say if you touch the pole or something. You'd like to try that again, but your pole seems to have fallen into the tumultuous lava below. Okay. Hopefully, there's not a meta puzzle about getting another detonator and then cushioning it in some way by wrapping it in the belt or slipping it into your thermal protective underwear. Okay, do I remember? It's been a fortnight. Can I remember how to do the ship? Well, I think so. Panel with a red button, but that's to leave, not to shut the hatch now that I'm in. Diagnostic computer. Power level nominal. Thing online. Enter the cockpit. Look at the console. Use console. Look at controls. There we go. We're currently in sector 82. I like it's simple. It's not this is not a space sim, but I like the flight. I like the way the ship works. Hey, engines. Thrust generation underway. All right. Adequate thrust achieved. Radar's on. Let's take off. There's got to be a space battle at some point. I guess there doesn't have to be. Okay. But it'd be cool. There doesn't have to be because we've already used key parts of the battle system just to blast our way out of the garbage freighter. Okay. Well, scan it. Resume scan. Flea butt. It's probably not super important to return here. But you know what? Just in case. Gonna go back and get those things. All right, light speed. Here we go. But also, will something just happen? The force field kind of makes it seem like our scanners should pick up the Ortegan moon. Maybe they will. If I get stuck, maybe just wrap the scanners back around. Oh ho! Flashing message on your monitor attracts your attention. Orbiting planet Fleabut. Oh. Nothing special. Just the regular, hey, you're here. Sector 39. Let's land. Boom. With a mighty wump, the aluminum mallard sets down on planet Fleabut. Get up. Press button. Aha, tricked you, Scorpion. Oh, damn it, Roger. He's okay. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. Off towards the monster. And when we arrive, even if I don't need them, I will buy those items simply because I covet the puzzle points. Hi, a stranger. Name's Blatz, Festa Blatz. Welcome to World of Wonders. Go ahead. Have a look at some of the trendiest items in the known universe. Make the most of your vacation, Buckazoid. Well, I don't know. What kind of items do you have? Boom. Bought the Orat. Buy the chicken hat. Scored some points. Leave. He says the lightning's getting bad out there, but that might just be his standard "you're leaving" dialogue. Alright, gotta avoid the scorpion. But it seems like it actually just left. Hopefully it's not lurking off camera, but within range of me, so to speak. Nope. In fact, is the scorpion fleeing? Well, normally going south from here is death. Oh, and indeed. Oh, haha, tricked you, you stupid scorpion. I figured it would be death here too, and now I'm especially convinced because the scorpion came back. But I was for a moment like, what if the scorpion is going somewhere or fleeing from something, and either way I should follow it? No, doesn't seem so. Well, let me go to a new place. Get in the cockpit. Getting very close to half of the points. Engines up. Takeoff. And let's navigate. Yeah, this is where we are. Resume scan. Will we find something new if I go all the way around? Like in the Ortega area? Name, Pestulon. Sector. Name, Pestulon. Sector 69. Inhabitants, unknown. Surface, uncharted. Figures. So yes, okay. Ortega was protecting planet Pestulon. Presumably where the Pirates' base is. Not going there just yet. Not going back to Ortega. I want to go back to the space McDonald's. Both to see if there's anything just new that will happen, but also because now that I'm a little more confident that Roger just has the Buckazoids, that the game is not getting me to optimize purchases perfectly, I want to take a look at the menu and see if anything jumps out as like, that would solve a puzzle. The Lightspeed travel music in Star Control 2, better than this, but this is good Lightspeed travel music. Similarly, the Alien Merchant has good, really good music in this game, but the Melnorm and Star Control 2 have just the best song. And so on. Wait, can I step on the Hutt's tail? You know what? If I can, it's probably a way to get a funny death. So let's just save. Or wait, at this time they would not know about that scene because it wasn't used in the original Star Wars. In the special edition of A New Hope, of course. Han Solo meets with Jabba the Hutt and steps on his tail. Hey bud, hold on. Look at menu. Okay, a mini monolith burger, a monolith burger. You can add poly cheese. Apparently only to the monolith burger because the same amount of cheese, even less cheese, shouldn't take the mini monolith all the way to $3. Buckazoids, sorry. Filet-o Orat. Jumbo monolith with poly cheese. The Big Belcher combo, which includes the jumbo mono with poly cheese, space buds, extra grease, sloppy slurper. I mean, that does sound like a good deal. Monolith fun meal. Let me finish reading the menu. And then comment. Space buds, $1. Tang. Awesome. I'm really glad that they just have Tang on the menu. Okay, but here's what jumps out at me. Besides that, maybe at some point we need food to distract a monster. Of the menu items here, the one that might have an item in it is the fun meal, right? Welcome to Monolith Burger. May I take your order? Order fun meal. Try another word. Can I look at the menu from here? Yes. Number 7. Oh, do I need to be looking at the menu when I type 7? Choose number to order. Yes. I'll take a fun meal, please. Thank you. And should I put it all on the line? Buy some Tang? Give me a sloppy slurper of Tang. Would I like some space buds with that? Apparently I would. Yeah. Would you like a black fruit pie with that? I like the portrait zooming in. Yeah, okay. Total is 11 Buckazoids. Pay? Alright. Well, I got some points. Hopefully I'm not doomed. You gingerly pick up the greasy bag. You can hardly wait to have a seat and dig in. Why are you having a seat, Roger? If, you got it in a to-go bag. Alright, so the Tang is not going to solve a puzzle, it doesn't seem. Unless I have the bottle of Tang separate. Ow! Hey, what's this in my burger? Oh, must be my fun meal prize. Hey, it's a swell decoder ring. Mmm, that was mighty tasty. Well, maybe mildly tasty. Well, maybe not so tasty at all. In fact, it reminded you of the slick skin of a Vorlian mucus worm. Okay. With this ring, you can decode any secret message. Well, almost any secret message. Probably the pirates are using cryptography to transmit their plans and stuff. Okay. Clear the table. Try another word. Take out trash. If you walk over to the clerk, you won't have to shout across the room. I'm not... Okay. Stand. There we go. Take garbage. Nah, let Mr. Employee of the Week clean it up. Poor form. Space Quest narrator. If it turns out later that I needed that money, those buckazoids I spent on Tang are the difference between winning the game or losing. Alright, on a stick. He can open his mouth and close his mouth. Hours of fun for all. David, welcome. Got my hat. Official Astro Chicken flight hat. Man, babes will really dig you in this. But most importantly, oh, I've looked at my decoder ring. I still have 335 buckazoids. I don't have my Tang, so I must have drank it. But hey, if that later on prevents... Oh wait, I don't need to save after looking at stuff. If that later on prevents Roger... Is this jerk still in here being mean to me? Yeah. Probably, given that I have a temporary invisibility belt, but I cannot use it here. I'm probably never meant to get in there. Or it's another parser thing, where I just haven't figured out the right way to put the belt on. All that said, I think it's a good time to go check out Planet Pestulon. Hey, we've crossed the meridian. I have more than half of the puzzle points in the game. Oh, gotta type board ship. Great. Or just bored, as it turns out. Okay, let's see what's going on Pestulon. Engines. Are we gonna have to fight our way onto Pestulon? Or fight our way off it later? Or have we done everything we need to do with the combat systems? It seems unlikely. Alright, new location. In Sector 69, very nice. Set a course. This was Leisure Suit Larry in space. You just go right for Sector 69. Boom. I'm doing quite well. I've been busy at work, but like the good kind of busy. Helping students. Not the bad kind where you do paperwork. The new students seem great in first year. The new to me students in the upper year class, because some of our third years come from, we have like a feeder system from other universities in the region. And then others are not new to me because I had them as first years, but the new ones seem cool. The familiar ones, glad to see them. Have a great time about the courses. Up for reappointment and promotion. 100% sure I'm going to be reappointed. It would be really weird if they didn't reappoint me. 95% sure on the promotion. The big thing is there's a hiring freeze in my institution. Is the administration, even if I'm recommended for promotion, going to say, well, no, that's hiring him to a new position where he is senior in front of his title. But yeah, so that's all very exciting. And then I started playing Darkest 2 Dungeon, And I have not yet ruined my life by. I mean, I did have one day where, fortunately, it was on the weekend, but nonetheless, I think it was on a Saturday. Maybe it was on the Sunday because we had a long weekend. Danielle had gone to sleep, and I was like, "I'll be up in a minute." And then I went down. I was like, you know what? I can do one more like leg of the road, one more location in Darkest Dungeon. And then I looked up and it was like, oh, hey, it's 2 a.m. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm almost 40 years old. All right. Planet Pestulon. But I'm digging the game. Oh, Pestulon is a moon. Of course. Of course it is. With a mighty whump, you set the aluminum mallard down on the surface of Pestulon, home of the Pirates of Pestulon, we assume, based on the title of the story. Roger doesn't know anything about that. Or maybe he does, and it's just not being maybe the Pirates of Pestulon are very famous. Roger's read all about them in the newspaper. The space newspaper, I guess it would be called. Ooh. Fun palette. Who am I thinking of immediately? Green and purple palette. Jake the Snake Roberts. You know, that's probably actually who I was thinking of. I don't know how I got to Jake the Snake before the Joker for famous characters with purple and green. Woo! You make your way through the forest of strange trees to this clearing, where you discover... I should have looked around, but anyway, here we are. Where you discover the entrance to some large underground complex. This must be Scumsoft. Suddenly, the door to the complex begins to open. Why must this be Scumsoft? This could have been foreshadowed more. Several guards file out of the entrance and disperse into the woods. They must have been alerted to your presence when you landed. 2 guards remain behind to watch the entrance. Look around. You're hiding behind some of the strange local vegetation, looking out at a clearing and an entrance to a large underground complex. From the logo on the entrance, okay, there's the explanation, you deduce that this must be the infamous Scumsoft headquarters. Okay. Decision time. Do you wish to stay here, return to the ship, enter Scumsoft? Well, for now, I'm going to do the interesting one. If this turns out to doom me, I'll do a different one next time. Excuse me, fellas. Note. Congratulations on your recent death. This one lands more on the comical side. Well, let's see what's in the other directions. What a peaceful planet for a software company, you think to yourself. What a shame it had to be Scumsoft. You were surrounded... Okay, so Scumsoft is going to be either a parody of like the big boys or internal parody of Sierra. So it's either like it's shots at EA or it's shots at Ken and Roberta Williams. Cool. Again, though, this is just... yeah, that did feel like good timing. That worked out well. You're surrounded by what can only be described as tree-like growths towering high above you. The turf has a mossy texture. I mean, couldn't I also describe these as rock-like growths or seaweed or... Anyway, no. It can only be described as tree-like growths. For some reason, again, this game is just you're playing a game. You know you're on an adventure. Just roll with it. As soon as you land, Roger's like, what a great place for a software company. Why did it have to be Scumsoft? What are you talking about? You never mentioned this place before. Oh. Okay. Well, this narrows the range of possibilities. I bet stay here is also get caught. But what if... No. Actually, it really seems like a Monty Hall choice now. I know the wrong answer. So now I at least have a 50-50 chance. But it's still like, Roger could get caught walking back or you get caught for lingering. And either one of those makes just as much sense. Let's stay. Let's choose inaction. At the very least, maybe we get a zoomed in view of Roger being blasted with the slime encasing gun or whatever it was. Okay. Let's return to the ship. If that doesn't work, then maybe the answer is extended waiting. Now, does every direction just exit to that screen? Sure does. Juffawet, we are questing for space. And if you haven't already heard, you may perhaps be interested to know that next on the agenda after Space Quest 3, Star Control 3. Because with 3 stars coming next year, I need to see the official sequel so that I can compare it to the true spiritual sequel. I have equal parts anticipation and trepidation. All right, let's try staying here. See if this could be a wait and the guards will slack off and then I can go for it. Or they get in an argument. Look at my items. Do I feel like any of these items could obviously help me? Oh, wait. Yes, I do feel like one of these items could potentially help. Wow, this thing really works. You then quickly realize you have only a few moments before the power pack is depleted. Let's go. Roger. I was hoping you were going to just do this automatically. What's happening? I'm becoming visible. Looks like you made it just in time, as your invisibility belt is now completely out of power, but I still have it. Maybe I can charge it. Maybe I can strangle a guard with it. Maybe it's just nothing now. Don't need this particular save anymore. Okay, look around, Roger. You're within the outer fortifications at the Scumsoft headquarters. You see an elevator door and a button on the wall. I think I can solve this puzzle. Yeah, I read something about the development of Star Control 3. I like this zoom in on Roger. And I like that they coded in him bonking his face on the wall like a dummy. Yeah. One thing about the development of Star Control 3 is that they were like, obviously it's not made by Toys for Bob or by Paul and Fred. Instead, it's made by, a different development studio. And it says that they were chosen because they were huge fans of the original game of Star Control 2. And then it was like, one of the earliest decisions based on player feedback was the players didn't loved Star Control 2, like they loved the ship combat, but they found it tedious to harvest resources, and they didn't like having to constantly check back into Earth. Seems wild to me to be like, I love this game. I hate, most of the gameplay, the core gameplay loot, but I love this game. It strikes me as one of those, the focus group, they don't know what they want, right? So, I don't know. I'll miss that part. But it'll be nice to have it back in 3 stars next year. Alright. Look around. You're in a hallway. Somewhere deep in the innards of Scumsoft Inc. Are the Pirates of Pestulon software pirates? That would be funny. Ooh! That's good. Look at the door. Door has a keycard system, as well as a composite facial scanner. It'll be pretty tricky gaining access. Alright. We're just gonna have to kill a guard, cut off his face. Classic Space Quest. That is... the reception section on Wikipedia confirms that it was... Oh, not even that, Cedric. This is pushing EGA to the limits. Not unlike the city in... There's a more amenable door. Not unlike the city... You know, the streets of the city of Shapir in Quest for Glory 2. Yeah, the reception section for Star Control 3 is like, it was acclaimed at the time. Everyone hates it now. Look at the door. A door. What the hell, Roger? Did he go through the door? I think he did? No. Door's not an obstacle. Okay. Okay. Nope. This part looks cool. Doesn't control great. Oh, hey, we're in the offices. Security. We have an intruder in accounting. Well, this didn't take long. I can't do anything. So we're just waiting for Roger to be encased in, I guess what we should probably call the scum field. Oh, hey. That's fun. It occurs to me now. We are playing Space Quest 3 in, it's Jello. In the Scum VM emulator. Which doesn't just emulate the Scum engine, scripting utility from Maniac Mansion, but also does the Sierra Creative Interpreter and Adventure Game Interpreter engines. Just like Mom used to make, as your life sputters to a close, you decide to cut down on the desserts. Why'd you put the bananas in there? George likes the bananas. You can have the bananas on the side. What are you talking about? Button isn't in the dictionary. Did I spell it wrong? Yes, I did, obviously. Did I say butt-no? Because if I did, that's funny. Okay. Can't go in the first door, at least, that I pass. What happens if we... Oh, what's... Where to go? Madness. Okay. It's just a little counterintuitive. Is this just back in the elevator? Are there multiple floor buttons? A janitor's closet. You find yourself in, guess, a janitor's closet. You certainly have a sixth sense about this kind of thing. Look around. Janitor's closet. Look at closet. Search the closet, but yes. Rummaging around the closet, you find a pair of old, grimy janitor coveralls. Put them on. What a great idea, Roger. No one would be suspicious of a janitor walking around. You grab the coveralls, pull them on, seizing the opportune moment to dump all the old items you've been pocketing along the way. What a great disguise. Wait, what's this? I don't even have to type check pockets. You reach down into the pocket of the grimy coveralls and find, well, what do you know? Mr. Garbage, a trash vaporizer. You've seen these babies in all the janitorial supply catalogs, but your superiors were always too cheap to outfit you with one. But we would just say janitor. Look at this guy. So, oh, check it out. Turns out every other item that I had is no longer relevant, including the money, which seems short-sighted. Yeah, that's right, nerd. Let's get the waste paper baskets. Look at the trash. Roger's not like carrying a garbage bag. This is my own janitor instincts kicking into gear. Just look around, Roger. It's cubicles. You're in the cost-efficient corporate accounting department of Scumsoft Inc. These hard-working accountants are trying to figure out where the company spends its money. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Let's look at the vaporizer. Mr. Garbage, janitor's best friend. Designed to vaporize all non-organic, biodegradable matter, i.e. trash. My coveralls, just look what they are. Security, we have an intruder in accounting disguised as a janitor. Well, screw you too, man. Is it because I didn't empty the waste paper basket while I was standing there that he could tell? I don't know. Do I get a distinct? Okay. Yep. I blew my cover. Oh, I have a goddamn trash vaporizer. See, you can see my janitorial instincts let me down there because we don't have trash vaporizers, or at least we didn't, you know, it's been like over a decade since I really did much janitoring. Okay. I hear in the distance the cry of a kitty who knows what time it is. So I gotta give Abra her lunch. I'll be right back, gang. Hang tight. And we're back. That makes a lot of sense to me, British. You know, where are your security vulnerabilities? Probably in the people who are paid the least, doing the most unpleasant work, perhaps being treated with the least respect, and who also happen to have access to everything so they can clean it. Okay. Let's fool these nerds. Although, like, why would you immediately jump to this janitor who didn't do his job well is a spy who needs to be instantly killed and not, you know, call his supervisor? This probably just gets me killed. Cabin is locked. Okay. Well, for now, I'll make my way around, vaporizing trash, and see if we find anything useful. Not that we have any, like, why are we here? What is our motivation? Do I get a different look around result? Can I look at the desk? Look but don't touch. Caperize. Oops, you missed. William tell you or not? You actually have to aim. Okay. I thought maybe because that looks like it might be like a circuit box or something. Oh no, it's a maze. Is there anywhere else for me to go? Can I? Yeah. Ha. And any one of these nerds will instantly report me to be killed. Whoops. Hold on. Oh, so this message is from British? Anyone watching on demand? But it's all there. The company hired cleaning ladies who, unbeknownst to them, had masters in informatics. Okay, that's another way. Okay, so that's not the vulnerability of your people being corrupted. It's that it's also, you're probably not doing thorough background checks on all the cleaning staff that you hire, opening up the possibility of them not being who they claim to be. Fun story. Okay, we've made it to the back here. Quite possible I'll realize later there's something else I was supposed to do. But for now, I'm just trying to make my way through a maze and not get ratted out to my supervisors to death along the way. This seems significant. You're in the boss's cubicle, and the boss is in. Be reverent. Look at the boss. Behind the desk sits a boy who looks to be about 14 years old. Do your job and get out, he blurbs. If this is internal parody of Sierra, it's a little weird just because... Look at the chart. Look but don't touch. Okay. This one over here has a little bit of the Ken Williams in him. But like, Ken Williams is the boss. Is there something over here? It looks like there is. Yep. Look around. You stand on a platform overlooking the Scumsoft vehicle bay. In the center of the hangar sits your ship, surrounded by rows of short-range skull fighters. Now how will you ever get out of here? Well, at least we have a problem to deal with. Hey, the boss is gone. Look at the cabinet. It's locked. And also I wouldn't find anything useful. Why not? Look at the desk. All the desk drawers are locked. However, someone has carelessly left a key card on the desk. That's what we love to see. Excuse me, gentlemen. Gentle jerkwads. On my way out, I'm going to stop. I'm going to check to the left here, just in case there's more here. Might as well do at least a cursory search right now. Is there a desk here? There is, but it's a don't touch. Okay. Looks like we're mostly done here. Unless this way back to the right opens up new possibilities. No, this is the way back, and the other way doesn't open up possibilities. Oh, but here's another way. There you go, nerd. There's a portrait of the boss. His name is Elmo Pug. He's got Freddy Krueger stripes and Joker colors. Look at printer. Now, look around. Color copy machine. It's not under repair. Look at the copier. It works. Okay. Use copier. What can I copy? It'd help if you had an object suit. Oh! The facial recognition. And obviously, if I need to copy it, that's so I don't get caught because I stole the original. Wisely. And indeed it was. I've replaced it. Well, who's the big boss man now? For all intents and purposes, it's me. The guy with the boss's keycard and his face. I didn't even have to cut his face off. It's another useless cabinet. At least they're labeled as useless. Although, can you imagine if that was the way they did a red herring? Tell you it's useless and then laugh at you later for having not solved it? Wait, did I ever try over here when I went past these nerds at the start? The final area. Well, now I guess I'm stuck. Vaporizing trash. Whoops. So that the nerds don't execute me. Oh, wow. Jeez. Low tolerance for you, like, taking half a step past their trash. All right. Get a save right here. I should try one more time. Just in case there's a third thing to get here. Nope. Got killed for nothing. And also, help these murderous jerks out for nothing. Keep going around. Bonk. All right. Use... Wait, what's it even called? Copy of Elmo's picture. Use picture. Hold picture to scanner. Maybe it's the opposite way. Use keycard. You hear several clicks. I'm in, you think to yourself. Then you hear a synthesized voice say, keycard verified. Stand by for composite facial scan. Hold the picture up. This is a very flawed scanner if it can't tell the difference between a three-dimensional face and a photograph face, but I'll take it. If they're skimping on things. Oh no, is it the two guys from Andromeda? You cautiously enter a darkened chamber. A seemingly bottomless shaft drops off into a black abyss. On a platform in the center of the chamber, the two guys from Andromeda wiggle helplessly in lime jello. The platform can only be reached by the 4 retractable bridges at each entrance. Okay. Activate bridge? No. Use bridge? Look at bridge. The only visible means of access to the detention platform is by means of retractable bridges. Sure. And so... death. Let's see how... does he get mutilated in a new way? Nope. Will it just rise up to meet my feet? No! Are there buttons over there? Are there buttons I can't see? Look at the buttons. Oh, it's by the door. Of course. It's a visual trick. Fair enough. You don't even get points for that? Come on. All right, well, eat or vaporize the jello. Let's try eating, just in case we get a horrific poison jello. Roger chokes and gasps like Joffrey death. No, he hates lime jello. If only there was some little marshmallows in it. Gotta get right up close. But it doesn't do organic matter. Wait, what? 737 points now. That's going to be a red herring. A joke. I mean, a gag. We'll see. You successfully free the two guys from their slimy confines and then begin to speak. You know what? It just occurred to me. I never used the decoder ring. What could that have been for? Who knows? Thanks, dude. It's great to be out of that green stuff. Hey, what's your name? Roger Wilco, you admit. They discovered our distress message we coded into the Astro Chicken game and sent us here as punishment. Let's get out of here before we're discovered. Was there a distress? Did I see that message and forget it? Because at least that set things up. Right. Okay. So at least there was that foreshadowing of Scumsoft. Okay. Let's get out of here. Uh-oh. We're stuck, fellas. So, what's your plan for getting us out of here, Wilco? I think we're going to be killed? Or taken to prison? Uh-oh. Oh. I stopped when it stopped giving me puzzle points. Nobody's going anywhere. You must have thought you were pretty clever, Mr. Wilco, disguising yourself as a janitor. Unfortunately for you, my boys found your sorry excuse for a ship in the woods. Escort this gentleman to the arena. You boys haven't seen a good fight in quite a while. Looks like it's time for Kloplock. Or whatever it's called in the Star Trek episode that Futurama was referencing in the episode with Kloplock. And do away with those two Andromedans. They have been more trouble than they're worth. Take them away. Probably It's just go to the arena sequence now? Yeah. It's not. Quick, react fast. Points subtracted. You and the two guys are separated and escorted away. A door opens and you're led into the dark unknown. Kind of them to give us a battle bot, apparently. Sorry, not how. Okay. Okay, Wilco. The name of the game is Nukem Dukem Robots. The only rule is that there are no rules. Use your arrow keys to control your robot. Use the J key to punch, the M key to block. Press any key to start. Can I? No saving. All right. You have a limited power supply. A successful blow will absorb my robot's energy and vice versa. On the other hand, a wasted movement of any kind will rapidly deplete your robot's power. Sounds like fun, huh? There they go. Oops, I saw him coming to punch. Oh. Oh, I'm bad at this so far. There we go. Oof. I'm also not great at parry timing in Dark Souls. Oh. No, I wasted all my power. Okay. Well, looks like you've depleted your power. The last thing you see is your blood slowly spreading across the arena floor. Better hang out at the gym more often. What did this have to do with Roger's physical fitness? Ah. Okay. Let me just confirm. Oh no, I clicked out of the window. Roger's doomed. Yeah. Dead. Okay. Okay. I don't love. It seems like if I hit him in the corner, he doesn't have any recoil before he gets to throw a punch back. Or if I, yeah. No, it's just period. Like blocking doesn't throw him off his game at all. Okay. I am not getting the hang of this, but I will. Maybe. Like, in theory, I could. I should say. Well, this is going much better. And also, the answer kind of seems to be just that Roger's robot punches faster. Rendering blocking kind of a useless strategy. Yep, there it is. So, yet another Sierra game that doesn't really nail down the idea of action combat. Get them, you fools! Well, I can reuse this one. $5.48 now. And away he goes. Well, Roger, you done good. You managed to rescue the two guys, thus offering the Doylean explanation for the exactly 2 seats in the ship, besides the pilot's seat. You managed to rescue the 2 guys and escape from Pestulon alive. Looks like this will be a milk run from here on out. Obviously not, though. I bet there's one more big sequence. Gosh, Raj, really appreciate you saving us and all. Well, you better. Dialogue's not advancing from my button presses, key presses. Oh, yeah, we were really scared. We didn't know what Pug was going to do to us. I need to engage more with Shadowrun, either in its modern form or the classic Super Nintendo game. Hey, don't you think we better get out of here? Pug's really sore. He probably sent some ships after us. No, you're right. Where are we going to go? Warning, short-range fighters approaching from rear. Weapons lock-on detected. These jokers back on Pestulon must have tampered with the light speed thingamajig. So now we have an explanation for why Roger can't go home. But it wasn't a problem before, so anyway. Okay. To the weapons system. Back shields. And then... target in rear. Oh, there is aiming. Outer range. And then it came back. I should have put my front shields up. Okay. Having the correct shield up could have prevented this. The final shot shreds the side of your ship. In the sudden vacuum, your body fluids expand beyond the capacity of your tissues. Your desiccated body will drift forever. A grim testament to your blundering stupidity. Do we get a... Yep, but we've already seen the hideous, suddenly decompressed Roger. Okay. Front and back shields, spacebar to fire. This should be fun. I've been looking forward to a spaceship fight, so I have to try to enjoy it. I'll update the save a little bit closer to when the fight starts. Gosh, Raj, I really appreciate you saving us and all. Can we get right down to business, though? Yes and no. Oh, here it goes. They tampered with the thingamajig. So how do you like the game so far? Was it worth $59.95? I did not pay $59.95 for it. Crazy, like, video game economics are kind of funny. Hey, we're hungry. We haven't really eaten anything but Jell-O for the last few weeks. Well, it's too bad. I ate all the food before I left. Here they go. Well, it's like, you look at something like Ultima, and granted, like, Richard Garriott didn't just design Ultima, he was the founder of Origin Systems. But, like, Richard Garriott was on the first commercial space flight. He made a lot of money in the video game industry. And then you look at his, like, successful games. The aiming part is kind of frustrating. The shields are pretty easy to balance. And then, yeah, you look at the sales and it's like, you know, like Ultima sold like 200,000 copies. Today, a major release that sold 200,000 copies would like end the careers of everyone who worked on it. Oh, damn it. That really looked like it was lining up. Fortunately, the shield rhythm is pretty straightforward. They do a pass in the front, they turn around, they try to shoot in the back. They come in front of you, you try to shoot them. Oh, come on. Not at all clear to me like how I'm supposed to be lining that up. Well, I'll get it eventually, maybe. As long as the shields don't deplete, I'll be fine for the sticking around part. But yeah, I use video games. Oh, shield depleted. There we go. Time to die, Roger. Oh, come on. How is that not a hit? All right. Well, this is over. So we'll go back. This feels like the infamous dam level in Konami's first Ninja Turtles game. Where apparently, I've been told, I've never played a ROM hacked version that does this, but apparently the collision detection is like just weird by 1 pixel. And if you amend that, it feels like a much less arbitrarily difficult piece of the game. Here we go. Just in case, I got to keep doing this, get even more to the moment. He is certainly by far the best one in that. Raphael is a cool Ninja Turtle in the stories. Fucking sucks to try when you have to use him in the Ninja Turtles Konami game. Yeah, that fight with Rocksteady, I believe it is, that you can win by just not entering the arena and just continuing to do bow staff shots down. Good times. Is it the like, am I trying to think about when the shots hit, or am I trying to just have the cursor right on it when I press spacebar? Either way, I hate this. I was looking forward to it, and now I hate it. Why can't the stupid weapons lock on? Hate is too strong a word, but I don't think this is great. That's fair. I'm going to try to hold out on just slowing down the game. Try to make it easy on myself. But if it comes to that, I will. Because right now it feels like we could win today. And if we can, I would love to. Absurd. Mushy notebook, that's not the case. I'm afraid you've been misinformed. Oh, undecided. Okay, geez. This is a party. Well, guess what? Guess I gotta type it manually. Ban. Mushy notebook. Spelled it wrong. Put a space in. There we go. And then ban undecided oversight. Yeah, so the problem, fellas, and you're already banned, so you can't hear this. So the best viewers are already right here, 58 Dream Street, and it didn't cost me a dime. Shields depleted. This is it, Roger. I mean, this certainly extends the game. Gets you your $59.95 worth, maybe. Oh, whoops. All right. I've slowed us down. Which hasn't done anything to help us. Yeah, I think that the idea is that the lasers have to reach convergence on the cursor when the thing is there, which is literally impossible to plan for, as far as I can tell, because the thing moves at random. You can't like trace its trajectory and get ahead of it. Oh, or even when it just looks like it works. I think because I think mashing the spacebar is also maybe a problem here because I think it's canceling the shot you've taken when you take a new shot as opposed to shooting rapidly. Nope. You cannot type lock on. Shield depleted. Well, all right. I'm not too proud to go to Google and say, Space Quest ship combat. See if there's some stupid trick. So hold on a moment. All right. Well, if there is, it feels like there should be. Lower the speed. There is no lock on. The advice here is it's trivial. Oh, okay. I might have missed a thing on the console. Not for lock on. I don't know what for, but let's, okay. Attack speed. Slow the game speed down a little. And then let's see if switching my ship to attack speed does something. Sure does. Or is that... It locked on. Okay, there was a lock on. It's just concealed behind the phrase attack speed. Fine, whatever. All right. So unfortunately, I'm bummed now that I looked, because that was sort of a puzzle about hitting the right option on the... It was not just, what's the gimmick of this bad action segment? And now I take back my dislike, because this is fine. It's not exciting. There could be some more variety. Got him. Wonder how many fighters they're sending at me. Probably 5 or 10, since it was more than 3. Wasted. Well, this will be number 5. If it's not this guy, I feel like I have to do this 6 more times. Or 5 more times after it's not this one. The shield's depleted, so I sure hope. Oh god, no. Oh, thank goodness. The remaining enemy ships have given up and are heading back to the planet. Looks like you were just too much for them. That's what I wanted to hear. Return to normal speed, hopefully. Back to the controls. Cockpit view? Oh man, you really showed those bozos a thing or two. Now can we get something to eat? Oh wow, lots of points for that. I'm at 648 now. You inform the two guys that Lightspeed is no longer functional. They're not overly pleased by this piece of news. What? Oh, now I'll never get any food. Some rescuer you are. Hey, what's this thing on the wall? It says, Lightspeed Maintenance Access Panel. Gee, maybe I can fix this bucket of plastibolts. Yeah, this is it. This fan belt thing came off. The round thing it was on. Just a second. I like the idea that the Lightspeed engine of the ship has a fan belt. Too late, you realize that you have no course laid in. The light engines kick in before you can override. No. Nah, we're gonna die. Oh no, why did I get up this morning? Mommy. Please don't let this be a you die hilariously and then have to go back. Please let this be just getting us to the next thing. Nope. Careening blindly through space, unless this is a wormhole, your ship speeds towards a sizable black hole. Once within the gravitation of the black hole, there's no escape. You plunge into destiny. If this is a death, it's elaborate. Hopefully it's just warping us somewhere. The overwhelming force of the black hole draws your ship in. Helpless to do anything, you and your passengers strap in and hope for the best. Okay, this is the ending, perhaps. You enter a blackness like no other you have ever experienced. All sense of time and speed are lost. Suddenly, a bright light becomes visible in the distance. It grows larger as your ship races towards it. Finally, you are hurled out of the blackness into a parallel universe. And the music is great. You cut the engines to sublight speed as you near a seemingly habitable planet, which, as we can see, is Earth. Hey, it's the Sierra offices. See, it's not Scumsoft, Ken. Well, a lot depends on exactly when they're arriving on Earth. Hey, and there he is. Yep. Greetings, Earthling. We are the two guys from Andromeda, universally famous software authors. And I'm Roger Wilco, space-age swashbuckler, all-around nice guy. Hello, I'm Ken Williams, president and founder of Sierra Online. So, you two guys are software authors, eh? What are your credits? Ever heard of Astro Chicken? No. But you two guys come to work for me. This is a funny ending. Sounds great. How many buckazoids does it pay? Buckazoids? Say, Mr. Williams, do you need a janitor? No. As our space saga comes to a close, Roger, feeling a little left out, struts off to his ship with the satisfaction of knowing his mission has been accomplished. What mission, though? The two guys from Andromeda go on to create the Space Quest series of adventure games, reaping fame and fortune. They grow fat on their success and soon become burnt out and begin a drunken tailspin into obscurity. But they got one more game left in them before the Simon and Garfunkel breakup. And so, we bid our hero a fond farewell as his ship once again bursts into light speed. Course unknown. This might be the worst final score I've ever achieved. Like, so bad that I believe there must have been an entire remaining segment. Good song, though. And, hey, didn't even have to do like an epic session. We have cleared the deck for Star Control 3 next week. So that's exciting. Right. Getting the kill screen, receiving the quest. Then they shouldn't have made it stop giving me puzzle points. So, fair game. There was a plot that you could have had if you did a specific thing that the game system kind of suggests to you is not available. And otherwise, you just bumble through. But you know what? This is a terrific bumbling time. I had a great time bumbling through this blindly. Robert E. Bobbitt Heitman for his generous yet verbose contribution of advice, etc. to babes from Andromeda, their wives, for putting up with them these last 12 months. You shelling out your hard-earned bucks to buy this game. Fake organizations being thanked. The Fleabutt Sand Advisory Council. Arnoid Droidworks. Caffeinate 90. When I glance over at the small window on the other monitor, instead of the larger one that I see when I'm watching stream monitor, it's gorgeous. In general, with all the Sierra games, AGI or EGA, VGA. Yeah. Okay, this is just repeating now. That is exactly what it's like. Okay. While I really like this song, I think I'll be happier closing out here without hearing it on an endless loop. Let's find out. Space Quest 3 points list. All right. Here we go. Get the wire from the tanker. Burial trash bucket. Okay, you know what? Instead of reading all of them, I will announce ones that I think I missed when I see them. Looks like I did everything on the tanker, on the trash freighter at the start. Buying a fun meal. That must be a typo. I did that. Getting the decoder ring. Did it. Safely landing 10 chickens in Astro Chicken. 50 points. Is that how many I did? Maybe not. Maybe so? I don't know. Discovering the secret coded message is 50 points. I didn't do that. That's what the decoder ring is for. I didn't do that. 20 points. Sell the gem. I did that. Oh, I must have not found the pilot's Buckazoid. So there's 10 points. 80 points right there that I missed. More points for tricking the Terminator into the pulsating pods, which was a solution I thought of but didn't do. But it doesn't show me the discrepancy. It's only the optimal points in this list. Getting the invisibility belt with the ORAD on a stick or the pole. So if you kill the Terminator the alternate way, you still need to get the belt. Okay. Underwear, telescope, pole, detonator. Blow up the generator with a detonator. Cross the device with the pole. I think that's a typo and it's supposed to say the chasm. Or the crevice. Crevice is spelled more similarly to the word device. enter Scumsoft, coveralls, photocopy, get the key card, find the two guys, and then just do the rest of the stuff. So, yes. Specifically, the points I missed, which turned out to be a lot, were for finding out what the plot of the game is. Interesting that they made it, I think in my view, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm a fool, maybe it was obvious to even people watching who had never played the game before, if such people are watching. But it seemed non-obvious to me. Just when it stopped giving me points, I thought, okay. I thought, what I actually thought was going to happen was that, even though I'm not even sure I saw it, I thought, like, Roger has the high score now, and that guy who kills you if you go in the other airlock, I thought he was going to come out at some point and be like, someone beat my high score, and then he'd be like, I got to get my high score back, and that would be when you went in and searched his ship. But instead, that's just a red herring so that you can get the horrifying image of Roger being shot in the face, which you also get in a bunch of other places. But they worked hard on those gruesome death graphics, so you can see why they wanted to, get the most out of them. All right. Well, that's one part of our tradition. When we get close to the end, or when we finish a Sierra game, find out what I missed. And then the other part is sharing my final thoughts. Well, I really like the game. I do think now it's not a, hey, there's no plot criticism. It's a weird way to hide the inciting incident of the plot in a way that seems very missable. Because not only is there it stopped giving me points for playing the game, so I didn't get a kill screen because I just didn't keep going because it wasn't that fun. It's no lunar lander. But also, the first game has you primed to think I have to make only the exact right purchases. So if you made it there, like this points list seems to suggest you're supposed to do immediately after you escape, after finding a small number of Buckazoids in the pilot's cushion. At that point, would you feel super confident that it was safe to buy the meal to get the decoder ring and to play the game a bunch, even after it stopped giving you puzzle points? I don't know. But that aside, I mean, let's focus on the many positives. The SCI engine, although it's mostly going to be used for point-and-click games, in the two text adventure SCI engine games I've played so far, King's Quest 4, Space Quest 3, it's great. I really I loved King's Quest 4, and I loved Space Quest 3. I like one thing they got, they're still in the EGA standard, so 16 colors, but they have a much higher resolution. And in both games, the art is terrific, but I think I'd give the edge to Space Quest 3 here. I thought it looked gorgeous. Nice variety of planets. Piloting the ship was fun. I think if they had maybe if they labeled attack, no, I should have seen the attack speed. I mean, I'd seen it before when I knew what I was saying the whole time, we're going to do a space fight. Then I just didn't see it. But attack mode, or attack systems or something, maybe I would have thought to activate it. Once you know to activate it, then the tracking game is more fun than when you think you're supposed to be manually firing these skittering ships. But otherwise, piloting the ship is fun. Is it supposed to be a parody of Sierra? Which it could be, especially with the how do we know has our boss spending our money? That could be true at any video game company. It doesn't have to be a parody of EA, but it could have been a parody of EA. But if it's a parody of Sierra, then obviously the Sierra ending is partially there for plausible deniability. The Sierra ending was funny. Having actual Ken Williams show up. Great humor. Shockingly violent deaths. But I'm a child of the 90s. I'm inured to violence, at least on screen. So that didn't really bother me that much. Fun puzzles, couple of little moments of frustration, but nothing severe. And kind of like all the things I hadn't figured out. By the time I figured them out, I was like, oh, okay. And probably the worst puzzle, getting the ladder, but you have to pick it up when you're not on screen. I just got kind of lucky and got that done. On Sunday's menu, I think you must have meant Saturday's, Stupinski, but Sunday's menu right now for now is Ultima 7 Part 2 Serpent Isle. But what's next on Saturday's menu? Star Control 3. We're keeping the space theme going. I'm going to keep the space theme going as far as I can take it. Yeah. So Star Control 3, we'll see how long that takes me. If it takes me right up till when Free Stars comes out, then it's just Star Control 3 and then Free Stars. But if I get it done, and I still have time, keeping the sci-fi theme going, maybe Disco Elysium, or maybe that's slipping to post Free Stars, and maybe Starflight 2. And maybe some other space-themed game. Who knows? But in the short term, in the very near term, next Saturday, Star Control 3. So I'm excited for that. I don't think I'm going to like it as much as Star Control 2 because it just seems impossible that will be the case based on its reputation and even the very small amount I've read about it. That doesn't mean I'm not going in with an open mind and hoping to have lots of fun with it. It's been a while since I played Star Control 2 now. Oh, how the years go by. But yeah, looking forward to that. And I hope you are too, folks at home. Yeah, in the end, Space Quest 3, I'd say it's my favorite Space Quest so far. At some point also with the sci-fi theme, we got to go back and do the rest of them. That's going to be a really interesting transition to the point-and-click Space Quests because we're going to get Space Quest 4 made by the two guys from Andromeda, trying out a new way of making games. I've heard good things about that. And then they do the Simon and Garfunkel breakup, hate each other for a long time. And one of them does Space Quest 5 and the other one does Space Quest 6 without each other. Really interested to see that comparison and contrast. And then, hold on. Going to Wikipedia here for a moment. Space Quest series. Yeah. Space Quest. Okay. The points list thing that I was on was had an entry in their navigation bar for Space Quest 7. I was like, I've never heard of that. Turns out it was canceled. It was going to be called Space Quest 7, The Return to Roman Numerals, which is funny. It was underway in 96 when they released the Space Quest collection, included a brief trailer. Little was released. There was speculation there'd be multiplayer that would have 3D elements. Then Grim Fandango bombed. So when Vivendi took over Sierra, they said, no one wants adventure games anymore because this one game did poorly. So let's never do them again until there is a funding mechanism like Kickstarter where hidden demand in the market can be revealed. But yeah, at some point, the second trilogy in the medium future, not as quickly probably as I went through King's Quest, where I took a short pause to do Chants of Sennaar. I'm going to mute my microphone for a second because I think I'm about to sneeze. Nope, didn't come. Didn't happen. Didn't work out that way. Yeah. So yeah. I am someday, I think there's at least a text parser based police quest in the SCI engine, and maybe a Leisure Suit Larry. So maybe in the fullness of time, I'll get to experience this particular format of Sierra games some more, because I really, really, really like those two games. King's Quest 4 was not as good as Space Quest 3. It just wasn't. I think Space Quest 1 is in line with the like AGI games. But the second one might have already been up to SCI. I don't know. I've only played a little bit of Police Quest when I was a kid. I know it's a lot about just not. There might be puzzles, but a lot of it is just like either infer or read the manual to learn proper police protocol. Like I remember there are parts where you got to make sure that your gun is stored properly, or before you get in your car, you have to. If you don't walk all the way around it, then Sonny drives off, and then the car crashes because of a defect that he didn't spot. Things like that. But I'll probably check those out at some point. I don't know if I'll do all the quest series before I branch out and like check out some LucasArts games and stuff. But I mean, listen, I'm gonna turn 40 in the medium, like 6 months from now. I'm halfway there. Not a little less than 6 months. But the way I try to think about it is that, like 40 is not even that old if you're in complete denial. And so, we got lots of time to keep playing games until, the collapse of society or the heat death of the universe or what have you. So in the fullness of time, we got lots to do. But yeah, in the near future, Star Control 3. So start getting excited for cool animatronics instead of pixel art portraits for the aliens. Probably writing that doesn't quite capture the Star Control tone, but might be interesting nonetheless. Hopefully, really, I trust the space combat part will still be fun. Not so sure about the meta structure of the game, which I guess is about base management, but I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, onwards and upwards. Twirling, twirling, twirling. Tomorrow, we're heading back to the Serpent Isle. Ultima 7 Part 2 Serpent Isle. I have a thought. Because I was stuck last time. I really didn't accomplish much at all in the last session. But at the moment I thought I was going to was when we met a new NPC who had not been there, but then a plot event happened and the NPC arrived. And the NPC is supposed to be the one who knows about the secret underground tunnels to travel to the Mad Mages Island, because we can't have a ship anymore. We're stuck on Moonshade Island. And he came back from a job that he failed to do to find blood moss for the Mage Lord. And then he wouldn't help me. He's just like, I was supposed to find blood moss and I failed. And then as soon as it was one of those, as soon as I shut it off things, I was like, wait a minute. Even though he didn't like explicitly say like, wilt thou get me some blood moss? And I got the yes, no. What if I can get a blood moss and then he'll do something for me? And then when I thought of that, I was like, well, where am I going to fucking find blood moss? And then I thought, Ultima 7, both Ultima 7s famously, and really all Ultima games starting with Ultima 4, famously have really rich manuals that tell you a lot about the world. And the Ultima 7 ones are written as though they were written by a character in the world to teach you about it. So I busted open the manual, went to the reagents section to get the flavor text for the reagents. And indeed, for blood moss, it says blood moss can only be found in the Serpent Isles on the south in a swamp in the southern region of the Isle of Moonshade. Something like that. So literally, blood moss can be required in the game, but only in a swamp that is on the island that I'm stuck on, and a guy needs blood moss, and the guy knows things I need to know, even though, like, the game should have let me say, what about these secret tunnels? And he goes, well, I'll help you. If you help me, can you get some blood moss? Wilt thou do this? Yes, no? Seems like that's what it is. I feel pretty confident in that. I'll be dismayed if it's not that, because I really want something to keep happening. This is going to be a long enough game, even if, things just come together. So we'll see. On Tuesday, Greg will be here and we'll be beating him up. I wasn't able to announce what we would be beating up last night on Friday Night Frosthaven because I couldn't remember and I didn't want to go digging. But I can do it right now very quickly. We are playing at least Irem's Undercover Cops and Taito's Sonic Blast Man. If either one of those games somehow turns out not to be a beat 'em up, or we just stomp through it really quickly, We will then move on to Taito's Warrior Blade, Rastan Saga Episode 3. But at the very least, Undercover Cops and Sonic Blast Man. Both Irem and Taito. Irem, we've played an Irem beat 'em up before. We played Irem games because Irem developed... Yeah, we played Blade Master, which was like just a Golden Axe ripoff. And then otherwise, the notable Irem games have been not beat 'em ups that are mistakenly classified as beat 'em ups, or sometimes called like proto beat 'em ups. Kung Fu Master and its spiritual sequel Vigilante. But yeah, so Irem, like, they've got a pedigree, but not necessarily for the beat 'em up, because just like a generic Golden Axe clone. I think it was really, really gory. That was maybe its standout thing. Yeah, whatever. But maybe they'll get it going with Undercover Cops. Maybe Sonic Blast Man will be cool. Who knows? There's only one way to find out. We're going to play those games. Come Friday Night Frost even. It's going to be a tense episode. Because we're on our third attempt at this scenario. It will be our sixth night of playing it together. Is that correct? 1 night for the first attempt, 2 nights for the second attempt. We've had 2 nights so far. 6th night playing this scenario, and it's going to be touch and go. We can quite possibly win, but maybe not. And a lot's going to come down to what gets drawn for the monster ability cards. We don't have any control over that. If I was a slightly weaker-willed man, I would take advantage of the fact that I know what's coming and that no one would know, to just arrange those ability card decks so that we are guaranteed safe passage. But I'm not going to do that. So you get a good chance of either turning it on Friday and seeing us genuinely exultant because we didn't know that it was all going to come together, or, dismayed and traumatized and doomed to spend at least 2 more nights on a 4th attempt at this very long scenario. The Elemental Cores scenario. Who knows? And before you know it, it'll be Saturday again. We're still in space, but we're not on a quest anymore. We're just looking for control of the stars in Star Control 3. I'm excited. I hope you are too. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, you can't hear my voice. But I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, when we're not soaring through space, but just teleporting between different planets where we've established bases, which apparently is more fun according to surveys at the time. Take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.